Hello guys, this is Dr. Lior Bar-El, and today I have an unboxing and an installation guide for those of you that are interested in getting, liquid cooling for your CPU. Okay, at first I had this version right here, which I really loved a lot, but unfortunately after a number of years, I would say about 5 years or so, the pump died. And what happened is that you could look in my video before. I show you guys how to judge like what happens when your computer keeps shutting off over and over again. How do you tell if that's the water pump or if that's the power supply, and so on and so forth. So you guys can obviously tell what it is. Basically, so I got this one right here. And this is the model that lasts you a very long time. And I'm going to show you what it is, okay? So this is the H100i version 1. Unfortunately, I loved it so much that I bought the H100i version 2, and it ended up being a mess. So let's go to that right now. Here's my issue. I don't know what geniuses in Corsair decided to pre-install the Intel bracket here. It's such a pain in the butt, and everybody's having troubles getting it out. Now I had like so many people holding this down. I still cannot dislodge it. Now, what I think we need to do is probably to remove these screws here, completely take it out, which I really think is messed up, and then remove this piece of garbage out. Okay, guys, I kid you not. Once you move this all the way back a little bit, and then you just press the top, this piece of garbage comes out right away. So as you saw, the bracket was already in, and what happened is it was stuck in, and it happens in some of the models of theirs, and a lot of people were pissed off about it. So I showed you guys how to remove it when you just remove the screws and you could take it out, right? So I got through one giant mess. Then look what happened. A problem that made it practically unusable. Another thing these geniuses did was give a screw that actually breaks. This thing actually broke. You believe that? So you got to really watch out when you put this thing together. I'm going to need to get now another screw like this, which I don't know where I can find right now. So as you saw, that screw broke. Never in my life had I had a screw that ever actually broke on me. Ever. It never happened before, ever. And those screws are so crappy. And I mean, the geniuses in Corsair, I can't believe what they've done. Who is the person who does quality control? Because it was an absolute failure, and it pissed me off. And then I started to wonder. I'm like, so what is the difference here? And then I realized that Corsair actually has two manufacturers, okay? Two manufacturers that do this, and they keep on exchanging one after the other. So if you want a good quality one from the good maker, the maker that does it the right way, you want to get a block. It's always a block that's all copper, okay? It always is a block that's all copper. Now, if you saw the other one, it was a circle that has a golden cap, and you could see, a copper part on it. So the circular one is made by the other manufacturer, and that other manufacturer is extremely flawed in every way, shape, and form. So I've learned this because I built for my clients, and I built them with both coolers. And the reason I bought that original cooler is because I liked the way it worked on my client's computer. But then again, after 2 years, it passed out. It died out. So then I saw, other issues with that one, and I started to see, and I said, well, how come the ones with the copper that's in a square lasts for such a long time, and the one with the circular is not? Then I looked it up and found out there were two manufacturers working for Corsair, and they change. Like every year or something, they change and make different models. Some of the manufacturers make one time, they make it. The other time, the other one makes it. So always make sure that it's the square one that has copper all over it and not the circular one. Because that's the one you want that is going to last for a very long time. Now I'm going to show you. In this old one, I'm going to show you what I loved about it. You see here, you could input so many fans, about 4 fans you could put. So 2 of the actual one that's on the radiator, and then you could put another 2 fans that is from the case, which is awesome because if you have a motherboard that doesn't have that many, you know, for the inputs of the fans, you got to get adapters, and it's a whole big hot mess.com, you know. So you don't want to do that. What you want to do is you wish that you could have something like that. Now, another thing that I liked about it is that when you open the case, you could control the speed just by touching it. Now, it does kind of suck because let's say if you're not like me and you don't do work all the time, hardcore work, you know, almost all the time on the computer, you want to put it on a low, right? Or if you're not overclocking by much or whatever, you want to put it on a low. So you'd always have to open and close your case, which kind of sucks. But you could always download their utility. Now, in the newer ones, you're going to see that this does not exist. Okay, these do not exist, which already sucks, which means you're already losing. I think they only have for 2 fans. We're going to check it out right now, and I'll tell you what's what. The other thing, I didn't like this one and the old one, where it's like a seesaw, and you have to put it in, and then it's sturdy, and you have to take out the bracket. I am hoping and praying to God that I won't need those brackets, because the brackets that came with the motherboard I tossed when I put this in. It's been such a long time that this worked, and now you could buy these refurbished. So if you guys own it and you did damage it and you don't want to upgrade to a new computer yet, because this is on my second computer, so I don't want to upgrade it. So you know, I'm just going to put in a new water block on it because it's running awesome. It plays 4K games at 60 frames. I have no issues. So, you know, and it does my editing, my render farming, all of that stuff. It's part of the computers that I use for all kinds of stuff, and it's working great. So you're gonna probably want to get another one like this, and they have it refurbished for about 60 bucks on eBay or something like that. I don't like refurb items, so I do hope that it's gonna work very well. Another thing is, if you see, I replaced the fans with these fans that I found it was much quieter. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I kind of regretted doing that. But then I loved it because it was stronger than the stock fans when I saw the results of both of them. But I love these because they light up, and I really like it. And I think I'm going to put these on the other one as well, but we're going to see right now. All right, so now we're going to go and check out this model. Okay, so we're not the 100, the 100i, the H100i version 2. I returned it to Best Buy. This right now in Best Buy is 118 bucks, but it is being taken down from 140. So that's a very, very good discount. Okay, so let me just, where's that damn thing? Here we go. My unboxing knife. Be sure to check out my review on this knife as well. Very awesome and very sharp, and just does the job really well. Like you saw, I said in the other one, when I was doing the review for you guys, I wanted to show you what it was about and everything. And what I told you is always make sure that when you get these kind of parts, okay, like CPUs or whatever, that you want to keep the box in tip-top shape, because if you have to return it, you know, you'll be able to. So it's always good to get a knife and not go crazy and rip this thing like I normally do on other things. Okay, so it's always good. This knife also makes good protection, no joke. If you ever needed a pocket knife, just be sure to check out your state laws on what you can carry and what you can't. Any state that doesn't allow you to carry a knife that's this small is a state you should move away from immediately, because you guys need to protect yourselves, and that's the way it is. Okay, so first off, let me show you this, because you guys always say you like it. So it's the H110i. Isn't it funny how that, it seems like it's the same freaking company, same kind of manufacturer, but it's not. It's a different manufacturer, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, now, it says that this is for AMD, AM2, AM3, but it says nothing about AM4. But according to what I'm hearing all over Newegg and everything, they say that they include it inside. So we're going to see right now and finally put this, because I saw so many people were asking in Best Buy this question, does it have the AM4? Anybody wants to tell me, and they're getting mixed reviews. So finally we're going to put, you know, an end to this charade, and we're going to check it out. Let me just see how to open this. I hate when they do this. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here we go. So now, this is what it comes with. Very awesomely set with, you know, a layer of foam. So you got the warranty card, which comes with a 5-year warranty, which is amazing. So the right here, warranty guide. It comes with a manual. So let's just check out the manual 1 second. I want to just make sure I got this also. That's the Intel bracket. So I'm hoping it's not what I think it is. If it is, I might be in trouble. Oh no, okay, it's good. All right, let me just check here. I want to see. Here's the AMD processor one, and we're gonna check it out right now. So install mounting screw and so on and so forth. So let's give it a check here. So you take out this one. All right, now we have, wow, this is weird. Okay, so it came all in a bag, which is weird because the other one didn't come like this. It came like very separate. But okay, here we go. So this is the radiator and the actual block, and we're going to get into that in a second. So this is the fans. Ooh, these are very heavy-duty fans. I don't know if I want to replace them. These are very heavy-duty fans. We're going to get into that as well. Yeah. This right here is for the USB. So you could go right into the block and, you know, download, firmware or anything that you need on it. And this, I'm guessing, wow. Okay, so we have issues here. So I'm going to let you guys know right now what's what and everything, okay? So guys, I can verify right now that this does not work on the AM4. This does work on the, oh wait, it might actually work. I'm going to have to see. So it comes with brackets, 1, 2, and I think this is the back bracket. I'm not sure, for the Intel chips. And this right here is for the AMD. I'm not sure. We're going to check that out. And now we're going to see here, and I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, guys, so there is no mount whatsoever for the, yeah, no mount whatsoever. And it's weird because the other one, the version 2, they had baggies, and each baggie was labeled. AM3, Intel, all of that. This thing does not have any labels. So I don't think, I don't know what the hell this is, but I mean, you could kind of tell because some of them are smaller than the other, but it's kind of weird because it shouldn't be like that. They should tell you what's what, and that's kind of lame. Let me just, light is a little bright. So let's check that out right now. So let's go into the fans. So far right now, I can't guarantee this thing works on an AM4 board. You might have to buy, attachments for it. I mean, it's just a certain attachment I'm sure you could find anywhere anyway, but they don't include it. This is very heavy-duty fans right here. So this, I don't know if I want to replace it. We're going to see, but that's the fans. Alrighty. And now I want to just check. I want to first show you this, though. So we're going to check this out. So it comes in the back, so this is a little bit better on how this manufacturer does things. But unfortunately, due to the, let me just check. So see, okay, so here's the cool part. It has something for the power supply. So this is pretty cool that it can drive all of that into it and so on and so forth. So you might not have to use this to be to take up a slot. We'll see about that. But again, it only takes 2 fans, which is up there. So you're already going to be sacrificing like 3 fans on your motherboard. But now, so that's a flaw that I don't like even on the other one that I had, the version 2. But version 1 was pretty cool on that end. So, sorry, I'm getting calls here. So now, as you can see, this copper thing is going all the way square. This is thermal paste, but it's a square. So this model you want. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This is much thicker than the original, as you see. Okay, as you saw. So this is pretty cool, but I am going to tell you the flexibility on this is less than on the original, but it's still better than the version 2 of the H100i. Okay, so that's that. Now, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go right into it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put these right inside. So first off, what I'm going to tell you is make sure you check the entire radiator to make sure it's not smeared or anything, because if it is, most likely it is used. And I heard some people complain about that they were getting refurbished products from other companies and stuff. So I'm just saying, just make sure you are aware of it. So you just put one of these babies in here, the long one. You could put a washer in there if you want. Now I am going to tell you something though. When you put these in, be very careful, because I figured that out the hard way here. As you can see, has a little tiny crack. You want to make it tight enough, but not so tight enough that you'll break it, okay? So it's a little tiny crack, not really much of a difference. I'll probably cement glue that shit anyway, so not really worried about it, but it didn't make any damage or open up or anything like that, so it's pretty easy. So I'm going to show you guys how the completed model is. So give me 1 second. Okay, guys, so it's completed. Now, I am choosing to have air blowing down on my computer because, as you can see, I have here 2 exhaust fans that light up, and they're going to take out the hot air. So I have like a lot of fans on my computer, about 10 of them, so it's like an air condition on the inside. So I want this to actually blow down instead of blowing out, because I like putting stuff on top of my computer, like my lightsabers and so on and so forth. So that, it depends how you want to do it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the top. Some people like to put it where the CD drives are, everything like right here or whatever. I don't like doing that. I know that they say the water works better that way. No, it doesn't. It's the same exact thing, whether it's from the top or whether you're putting it on the bottom. For me, it's much more ergonomical to put it on the top. I think it's just much better for me. I've done it many times over, and I loved it every single time. So it is what it is. It works for me. Everybody has their own way, different strokes for different folks, however they say it. And I have these coming down like this, so it doesn't get in the way of the exhaust fans and so on and so forth. What I should have probably done is put it down in the middle, but I think I like it better this way, so it doesn't really get in the way of the fans when it's going to be sitting there. So this is pretty much it, and I'm going to show you now how I put this baby in. And we're going to see what happens, okay? So, remember, if the bracket is not here, I'm going to have to wait till I get a bracket from my friend. And I'm going to have to put that bracket, the AM3 bracket, in there. Now, from what I'm hearing online, this does work with the AM4 bracket. So, it's pretty much a simple thing. The only thing, again, that I don't like about this, that I liked about the version 2 H100i version 2, was the fact that it didn't have the seesaw. You had 4 screws, and you just pretty much take the bracket out, which is so easy. So if you lost the bracket, it's much more convenient. And then, if they didn't have a faulty screw that breaks on you, I would say that would be the way to go. It would, in terms of installation, it would have been epic. It would have been great. But unfortunately, that screw sucks. So we're back to the seesaw one, because the seesaw one is the one that's made by the other manufacturer. Now notice, the one made by the other manufacturer is the one that lasts the longest. I'm dead serious. There's a bunch of literature that you could read on that, but from my know-how, that's exactly what it is. I thought the version 2 was by, I didn't know the difference between the manufacturers. I thought it was the same manufacturer until I saw what it was, and I saw that people had issues with it and problems, and, there's workarounds and all this other stuff, but for what? You might as well buy a very high-level unit. It has the same girth in terms of that, and this is even more flexible than the other one, so I'm really happy with it. And that's all I got to say about that. So let's put that baby in right now, see how the hell, if it'll work or not. So you want to make sure, as you see, that this goes here, right in the bottom, like this, in the part where it sinks. You see that thing where it sinks? That's what you want facing down. So you want that one hooked up with that, and the top to hit that part, okay? To go like this. And then you just, spin it. Okay, guys, I really want you to also hear this, that there's a big difference between this radiator and the radiator I have. So make sure that you put into account everything, pretty much, of how much this thing is in comparison to everything else that you have, okay? So, in terms of your case. If your case is not big, go for a smaller one, obviously, because you see over here, even though my case is huge, I had to take my DVD-ROM out to put this baby in. And I'm going to be putting it back in, obviously, because it'll still be able to go through, but to put it in, it took a while, and I had to remove 2 of my fans right here, which is already like shit. But I'm not going to be able to have a fan here, but I'll have a fan over here. But here it's pretty much taken. So as you can see, hold on. Which is what I measured anyway, so I mean I already knew I was going to do this, so it's not like it's anything that's surprising me, but I did think that I would somehow be able to fit the other fan in over here, but I was wrong. So I'm going to be having to be with one fan less. Not that I care, because these two will blow in air. This one will take out air, and I'm fine with that. And these three right here in the front are blowing in air, and I'm going to have the one probably that's on the side blow out instead of blowing in. So it's going to, you know, I'm going to have two exhaust fans. So it's going to still be pretty cool. I'm kind of pissed that one fan will be less, but maybe if I'll find a way that I can get smaller ones or something that I could somehow mount, I'll be doing that very, very shortly. Maybe I'll get a slot fan over here, something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But just so you guys know, this is a beast. There's no doubt about that. So if your case is not big enough to handle it, go with the smaller ones. That's all. All right, so that's all I got to say. They all do the same job. So I'm going to tell you that because I've used every single one of them. When it comes to cooling, it does the same job. Doesn't matter even how big it is or whatever, how big the radiator is. It's very minimal difference. So you don't have to go and spend a fortune, like $140 or $117 on this, when there's $60 options for the single one that you can get. Now, I am going to say that the single ones die out quicker in like about 2 to 3 years. These last like 5 to 6, 7 years even I had one. So, you know, you got to put that into account. But remember, you're paying cheaper. So by the time that one gets destroyed, you could always buy another one. So it's not really an issue. But if you guys want, and you know, to overclock like a beast or whatever, like a lot, I would recommend getting something. Doesn't have to be as big as this. Like I told you, you could get the 100i version 1, though. Don't get the version 2. If you could get it a refurbished one. There's also smaller ones that you can get that they make that'll fit your case. So just look into that. They all have, you know, giant fans and all that stuff. It's just this one includes just, I don't know, it's just a giant radiator. And so that's what I have to say about that. So that's really all I have to say about that. In terms of, as you can see, like, the fan-wise, these fans are much bigger than the other ones. 140 millimeter, I believe, on these, where these were about 120, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, they're like about 120 on these. So to have that as 140 millimeter fans, it's bigger. Odds are it will probably be noisier, so you could replace those fans and get the, you know, the AF 140 or whatever, and, you know, it'll be more silent. I really don't care. I don't notice any noises, really. I max out everything. Even when I do editing, the sounds are blasted, so I don't really hear anything. But if noise is an issue, so you could replace the fans and you'll have no problem at all. Now, I am going to wait. I am going to tell you, if you don't have the bracket for the AM3 motherboard or the AM4, because you took it out recently or whatever and you didn't have it, you're going to have to go and purchase that bracket. Now, if not, go and get that H100i version 2 if you can't find the first one. Even though the screws suck, and I highly do not recommend it because of that, it'll probably be your best bet in terms of how to fit things in, and it's smaller also, so you won't have that much of an issue and all of that. But I'm just saying I don't recommend that. I think that you guys should stick to version 1 or this version right here. But again, you have to make sure whatever fits your computer. Okay, guys, so unfortunately my friend couldn't give me the brackets, but I found them. You believe that? So these are the brackets for the AM3 board that I took out. So remember, guys, if you guys took out this bracket, okay, so if you took out the bracket and had the other version on and you don't remember where the bracket is, you could always purchase it for about $7 on eBay. And you could get yourself the bracket, and you could take this piece of crap out. Now, if you guys don't want that and you want to do it without a bracket, the other one before the 100i version 2, H100i version 2, you could do it. Just remember that the screws are crappy. They're crap. The screws are real crap. So you would have to get the screws somewhere else. Otherwise, most likely, it's going to break. I'm letting you guys know. I thought I was the only one. Apparently, it's very common. So just letting you guys know that. So now I'm going to put in the new brackets. The brackets that I found, they're not really new, but practically new. So new brackets, I'm going to put it in, and then we're going to put that baby, the cooler right here. We're going to put this baby right into here. Now, a lot of people ask me, Lior, do you put thermal paste on when it already has thermal paste on there? Would I put more? The answer is, you really don't need to. I just do because I even though I maintain my computer every year, I take it apart and put it back together, I still, you know, I don't recommend just leaving it the way it is. I think that if you buy a nice, you know, thermal compound, like something really nice that's a little bit on the expensive side, but really good, has positive reviews and all of that. I use several different ones, you know, so I'm not going to be recommending any. I use generic sometimes. Sometimes I use really, depends on, you know, what I'm doing. Let me just look. I forgot where it is. I have to look. Oh, here it is. This is one I highly recommend that I always use. I really like this one a lot. The PTI right here, G4512. I really like it. It gives me good results in everything I did since, like, for a while, you know, working on computers and stuff like that. So I am going to put some on it. You don't really have to. They put a good thick layer, if you could see, of it. So, I mean, it's going to be fine. And I have a little bit from the 100i version 2 in there still, which is new because I cleaned the chip. So this is new thermal compound on this. So I'm just going to put that right in. I don't think I'm going to use this due to the fact that I have already too much in there, but I would use it if anything. Anyway, so let me get right back to it. Okay, guys, so now the bracket is in here. We're going to be removing this part right here, the plastic, because you don't want to remove it till, you know, so it doesn't get smeared all over the place. And as you see, it's like a seesaw. You see this? So we're going to need to, you put the clip basically over the unit, and you see this part where it dips, that's where you want this part. And the dip actually from this part, you know, leave it like that. And then you just tighten it and you put it on the hooks here. So it's kind of simple. You just take a screwdriver. I personally like the other one better, the one that came out with the faulty one, the 100i, the H100i version 2, where you're just putting the screws on all four and it's good to go. But unfortunately, the brand, the developer that makes these, it's a, you know, even though they switch, this is the better developer. So there you go. Now, guys, actually, I gotta tell you, I like these better than they were. So it's like a seesaw, but if you keep it loose, you could kind of pop them right in with your finger. I didn't even need to use anything. Then just strengthen them, but not over tighten. Don't tighten too much with a screwdriver. Just tighten it till you have a little bit of a fight in that. Because that's how it'll work. Now, I am going to tell you something. If you for those of you guys who wanted to know if the AM4s, if this cooler would work for the AM4, the answer is yes, it would. But unfortunately, it needs a bracket. So I actually used it on an AM4 right now while I was waiting for the for the bracket. And ended up finding it myself because some time has passed. And what happened is I tried it, and I got to tell you, you need a bracket for it. Unfortunately, there's no, there's no brackets unless you buy an upgraded kit or whatever from Asus or from whatever motherboard that you have. Now, I am going to recommend the Asus, Crosshair AM4 edition. Okay, the Hero. The reason why I recommend it is because it's AMD3 and AMD4 bracking mounts available. In fact, in the motherboard, it has these two holes that are connected, so you could choose whether it's an AM3 setup or an AM4 setup for a bracket for your cooler. So your cooler could work on that. That being said, there's also a lot of 3D printed versions, and you could also purchase them on eBay for about $7. So they have them on eBay or Amazon. You could look for the upgraded whatever bracket. If you buy it directly from your motherboard's manufacturer, most likely that's the best way to go. But unfortunately, they're going to probably charge an arm and a leg. Just letting you guys know right off the bat. I know a lot of people on the forums are like, yeah, it works. No, it doesn't. It works, but you need a bracket. And anybody that tells you otherwise is a liar. The only way it would work natively in an AM4 motherboard, okay, is if you have that Crosshair, whatever it is, Crosshair Hero by Asus. I'm gonna link it in the description below, the name and everything, so you guys could see it, and definitely look for it anywhere to see if you could get them cheap. It is a fantastic motherboard. In fact, if I am gonna go ahead and build the whole thing and take out everything, I am going to start with that motherboard and probably go to AMD Ryzen what is it, 4 gigahertz. We're going to see the 1800 one. We're going to see what it is, what it's about. I got to still do some more picking on that, and then we'll see where it is. But pretty much this is what it is. So there you go. It's right here. Now we're going to power this baby, and we're going to see how this baby works. Now I am going to advise you, see this right here? Be sure, my case here is a beast. I mean, I have so many hard drives here. It's a freaking beast. I'm not kidding you. I have 8 hard drives, 2 Blu-ray drives here. So this thing is a freaking beast, and I have still more options. Okay, so it's a beast. And look at this. I could not fit this in. I had to take out 2 of my fans, but I'm putting this one back. But I can't put the fan here. Doesn't matter. These are big fans. They'll be fine. The thing is, I had to remove one of my DVD players that I'm going to have, thank God I have an option of this so I can, bring it out more. So I'll be able to still have the 2 DVD drives, but it'll be like a little bit moved to the front. But that's the issue here. So there's the sacrifice. So be very aware what you're getting yourself into here, because this is a 280 millimeter radiator here. That's a biggin. Okay, just letting you guys know. Now, if you guys, let's say, had room or you don't have as much as hard drives or whatever, you could probably post it over here and it'll be fine. But if you're putting it in the top or even on the sides, that's not going to fit. Okay, it's simply put, it's not going to fit right here. It's just not. So that's all I got to say about that. And of course, then you have all this in the way. It's just not going to work out. So what happened is I barely squeezed it in, and the top right here, the top of it, and one of the bottoms, I managed to put it in, and it's extremely sturdy. It's like part of the case. So I lucked out. But normally this thing, I don't know if it could fit anything, to be honest with you. So I'm just letting you know that. So keep that in mind when you're building that. Always look at the measurements. Always look at what you got. And if not, you could just go with the regular 120s. The radiator will be smaller. The H100 version 1. I would say version 2 if you could get the screws, right screws for it. That's, good. But I like the manufacturer of this one, the one I explained it to you, because that's the one that lasts the longest, according to statistics, what a lot of people are reporting already. So there you go. This is how it looks in the dark. Now, obviously, I didn't put my other fans on that light up, but this in itself lights up. It's pretty darn freaking cool if you think about it. It's the Corsair logo. Unfortunately, it's coming out blurry. I have no idea why, at least for me when I'm looking at it. But so it looks pretty cool. Really awesome, and does its job. And now this is a must. Like if you're upgrading to an AM4, like an AMD Ryzen, 1800, where you can actually overclock to 4.2 gigahertz from 3.7 gigahertz, because you could go about 600 up. On this cooler, I'm even willing to bet you could go about 800 up, because I've already done that before, as I showed you in my other review for the original. I went up to 800, even I think almost close to 1,000 before it locked up. So that is pretty darn freaking awesome. So I'm willing to bet it could go over, but I'm going to stick to about 600. I'm going to put it on 4.2 gigahertz if I decide to upgrade this second computer right here. But so far, so good. I mean, this is incredible. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye. I wanted to show you something, that the actual water block also changes into any color on RGB. So for example, I want it, let's say, red. Okay, so I'm going to hit the OK button. You're going to see the apply. There you go, it's red. If I want to hit cathode blue, so like Star Wars, you got the blue. So I'm going to go with red. Now you could also do it, cycle through 4 colors. As you can see here, you go into the software, where you're hooking up, you see the link cable into the USB port of your motherboard. You could cycle through 4 colors, temperature based also, so it could go according to temperature. See right here, which I think is pretty freaking cool, that you could see what the temperatures are, and then let's see what it goes to. So it's going like into yellow right now, because we're entering 40 degrees Celsius. So like that, you could keep your eye on it and pretty much know what your CPU temperature is, which I think is pretty freaking cool. And of course, you could do it like this, let's say, and you'll see it cycle. Now watch this. So it's going to cycle through all the colors. There you go. It goes to green, goes to yellow,
Goes to slowly red, orange, red. It's pretty freaking cool, isn't it? So we're going to go into cycle because this is the thing. I mean, not cycle, static, because I have, everything is going to be red here, including the, my memory and everything. Even the fans I'm going to make all red, including this thing right here. It's also RGB. I could change that in the menu of that. So I'm going to make everything pretty much red at this point, and it's going to look really cool. See, you could change everything here. Tells you what it is, group, you know, CPU, blah, 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 whatever. It's pretty freaking awesome if you think about it. So not too shabby, ain't it? Not too shabby. We're going to hit the OK. And that's it. You just got to get the Corsair link. You get it off the Corsair website. And you got yourself a pretty awesome machine right here. Like, you know, a compliment to your machine. I do wish that my graphics card, the WindForce here, set it in red. If there's any way, I'll probably put like a red tape on it or something and have red come, you know, shine out of there. We'll see what I could do, but pretty cool. Pretty cool. I really love this. Really awesome. And great temperatures so far and everything, so I'm really happy and excited about it. There's still much more work for me to do as I just did the build. So this is how it is. You pretty much see, this is the entire software as you go in. So you go into the configure file and you go right here. Now remember, you could change it to however you want. So let's say here, you go into notifications, you could change all that, trigger LED, trigger all RGB LEDs, whatever. You could also, you know, run a file or whatever and test it. So pretty cool, very standard. And of course you could do it the easy way. You know, you could just go to quiet, which is going to be, you know, under profile, or balanced, or performance. Performance you're going to hear, it's much louder. You're going to hear right now. You see that? Just picked up the air, so you just want it on kind of in between. When you're doing overclocking, I tend to put it all the way up, but you don't really need to do that right now. I overclocked and kept it on balance, and it is at 47.5 Celsius. I mean, that's not that bad, and it hovers around 40 as well, and 39, 38, as you can see. So it's not that bad at all. So, I mean, you go into that. You go here, you go into the other menu, into the options, you go into settings, and you see right here, you start to have settings show temperatures, everything, snap grid, yada, 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 whatever. Choose case image, so on and so forth. And then you go into here again, and you go into devices, and it tells you your firmware. If you have to update it, if you don't, all that, it'll tell you right here. You know, what version it is. You just go to the website, really, and that's about it. The about, of course, tells you about. And then you go into graphing, which is this right here, which I like. I like to have that in addition added. And you can see that there's a configure. And you could just pretty much say what you want the graphs to be in, which I think is pretty cool. So that's just me, maybe. I don't know. I just like seeing all my things working. And that's it, guys. I mean, it's so easy to install. Everything is such a pleasure to work with. Just keep in mind that before making that decision, you know, make sure you have room in your case. Because as you see, I had to take out a fan from the back over there. I took out two, but I'm going to put that one back. But took out a fan from there. And also a DVD drive that I think I'm going to find a way how to put that in over here also. Because I have two burners, Blu-ray burners that play Blu-ray at 4K. So, you know, it's all part of the deal. I should have probably paid more attention to the size of it, but as you can see, some people, they choose to put the fan up on the thing here and have the radiator in the bottom. Maybe I should have done that. I'm not sure. I really don't like doing that though. Anyway, I like putting the fan right on it, and I get better results for me in terms of how it fits. There's no real difference in that. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. Definitely like and subscribe, and help the channel by doing that. Like, subscribe, and you know, hit that bell button. As I always say, I give you guys honest reviews. I don't have anybody funding me, so that is cool. If you guys could do that for me and spread the word, let everybody know. Have a good one, y'all. Take care, bye.